Hello everyone and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we've got another Wind Waker 80% no MMS tournament 2022. WaveCrash tournament here, winners bracket finals round game 1 between Aloha and Minimini. I'm Star, our two comps there, Bewildebeest and Gymnast. Take it away here.
Hi.
Hello.
Got some waves and some crashing coming up. Be very exciting.
Hopefully not some crashing, but
Yeah, that's true. Aside from the waves.
yes.
Are there any crash risks in this category?
Not really, no. There's risk of accidentally reloading the ocean if the runners aren't careful, but that's about it.
Reloading the ocean as in splooshing?
No, like doing like the game essentially panics because it doesn't think there's enough memory and just does a full reload of the ocean if the runners are not careful at one point. But I'm sure our runners will be careful, so it'll probably be okay. Yeah, so this is the winners bracket finals between minimini352 and Aloakirby. This is game 1 of a best of 3. The second game will happen right after this one, and if a third game is necessary, I believe it's happening tomorrow. So that's the schedule for this match of the bracket. So you see that our runners have a very interesting file name. Runners for this tournament are required to enter in a... there's a random number generator that generates a random number that the runners input as their file for each individual race. This is basically a preventative measure so that, you know, it disincentivizes cheating. So you can't, like, play back a video during the run or something like that.
Here I was thinking it was the password for the pirate ship.
Well, no, we will be skipping that password. Or, well, rather, the pirate ship is simply not going to ask for the password.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting trick in this one.
Pirate ship is not always password protected. I feel like this is going to lead into a sponsor segment, but that's not how this stream works.
Need to turn on two-factor authentication, protect their pirate ship.
Yeah. Anyway, the runners are now off, and they are going to be watching the 5-minute intro.
Wonder who's going to win. Oh, it looks like Aloha's ahead on the intro. This could be big. Oh yeah, so do we know who the winner of this, or this best of 3 is going to be facing?
Not yet, no. So currently in losers finals is myself and EJ 125, but our matches are scheduled for tomorrow, so...
Okay, so the winner of that matchup.
Yeah.
Will face, yeah.
I guess another thing to talk about is the Wind Waker community does allow for skipping the intro in speedruns, but we don't do that for races because, well, win a race, you know, the runners are kind of expected to finish the race, so it's not like they're grinding attempts right now where intro skip is most useful. But the bigger reason is that with the intro skip method that we do allow, we start the timer at an offset so that it still counts the time that the intro plays. And currently on race time, you cannot start a race like at an arbitrary time point, if that makes sense. So until that's possible, we probably will never do intro skip in races.
Need to find a way of doing intro skip that's within the game. Do some kind
That
of
would also
cutscene
be very nice, yeah.
in the file select. I guess then you have to start timing from power on. That's a whole thing.
Yeah, so Mini and Aloha are also currently the runners with the 2 fastest times in the any percent no MSS category. Mini has a 1:13.35 and Aloha has a 1:14.17, so they're only about 40 seconds off of each other.
And am I right in remembering that Aloha has any percent world record and Mini has 100% world record?
That is correct, yes.
Neat.
So, basically, these players are very good.
Yep. Winners final seems like an appropriate place.
Yep. Yeah, so the the term no MSS, or rather, the term MSS stands for manual super swim. So there's a trick that you can do in the Wind Waker where you can essentially turn around in water on consecutive frames and build up a lot of speed. And there's no limit to how much speed you can build up if you just keep on turning around in water every single frame. And so that leads us into a trick known as a super swim when we do that. And specifically, a manual super swim is where you repeatedly flick the control stick back and forth to gain a lot of speed in water, or you pause buffer holding the control stick up and down to turn around every frame in the water. But that trick is very hard to do, and is not really good for a tournament or race setting like this, because it's not something that, like, you know, any runner is 100% consistent at. So, like, the optimal any percent route for this game, for instance, starts off by just jumping into the water and doing that trick. Because being able to do the trick on outset right here and just, you know, immediately getting access to the rest of the ocean saves a lot of time. But because we wanted this tournament to be more beginner-friendly and accessible, that specific trick at the beginning of the run is not allowed. So the runners will have to be going through the sequence of events at outset that you would normally go through if you were playing the game casually.
Is there anything skipped on outset? They get the telescope, right?
Yeah, you basically don't skip anything on outset. Yeah. Unfortunately. It'd be cool if there was stuff we could skip, but we have a very limited set of tools.
Yeah.
At the beginning here. It actually is possible to skip stuff on outset, or like stuff within outset if you do a manual super swim.
Yeah.
If you build up enough speed and then, like, go onto land, you can have so much speed that you can, like, jump around the island to get early access to parts you're not supposed to be able to get to.
Oh, like getting to Forest of Fairies without sword or something?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
But yeah, so obviously the runners will not be doing that. Because that is, like, actually TAS only.
Well, it looks like Minnie has pulled ahead on tech smashing.
Oh, interesting.
Tight race.
Yep, those text boxes count. Oh, Aloha grabbing onto the ledge. Ooh, yep, Minnie's ahead now.
And we don't expect the runners to be more than, like, 5 seconds apart leaving outset, right?
Yeah, probably not. There are, like, a few... There's, like, 2 things that they could potentially get further apart on. But for the most part, it's just rolling. Aloha not quite making it to the ramp, losing another second. Oh, man. Minnie is just chugging along, going ahead.
Must have practiced his outset. And Aloha's missed the ladder, too. Or if he's distracted by something.
Now if Aloha loses by 2 seconds, we know what to blame.
Yeah.
Ramp and the ladder.
Ladder dance.
Yeah, so now the runners get to the hero's clothes, and once this cutscene is over, they're going to be doing a technique known as a save warp, where they're simply going to save the game and then reset it by holding down Start BNX on the GameCube controller. And this is going to reset the game, put them back on the title screen, and then they can start their file again. And conveniently, at the beginning of the game, when you save the game and quit, and then load it back up, you're back at the outpost that you start the game on, so it's a fast way of traveling back there to go get the telescope from Errol.
Good targeted turnaround from Minnie. Save warping sounds kind of like a glitch. That wouldn't be allowed in any glitchless categories, would it?
I believe it is.
Oh.
There was just a revote. I don't remember what the outcome of that was, but I'm pretty sure save warping is still allowed. And I am buffering a lot, and I can't see anything.
Oh. Talking to Errol. And he's got the telescope. And Aloha's got the telescope. They're actually like 5-6 seconds apart. Oh Minnie's now staring at a man-sized burb and now a giant man-sized burb. Never seen a man that large.
Yeah, when you have to like aim up to look at the Helmarock King, runners actually both aim up with the control stick and zoom back out with the telescope, because if you zoom out with the telescope, you can start the cutscene 4 frames sooner.
Ooh.
Get those optimizations in.
I am looking forward to the music when you get on the pirate ship the first time. Very good music. I miss that in MSS categories. Time for the sword now, right?
Yep, we're gonna go and get the sword from Orca. This is potentially one spot where the runners could, or where the difference between our runners could change by plus or minus 3 seconds, depending on what happens.
Is it RNG or just choosing combos?
There is, so for the parry technique, when Orca teaches you to parry with the A button, if you have to parry him twice, right? If you perform the first parry on one of the first 2 frames that you can possibly do it, the next parry will come up instantly.
Ooh.
But if you do not do it within the first 2 frames, then the next parry takes another 3 seconds to appear. We'll see if any of our runners get it. Or maybe I won't be able to see because I'm buffering again. Oh yeah, looks like Minnie unfortunately pressed the A button a little bit too early.
Yeah.
He'll still get the quick parry, but obviously he wasted time from getting knocked back by Orca.
Is there any kind of cue for that? For when he's going to, or when the parry prompt is going to appear the first time?
Yeah, so there's actually both a visual cue and a music cue. You can count like the up and down bounces of the spear that Orca's using, and you can also time it to the music that's in the background.
Mm.
So it's pretty consistent.
Wait, they forgot to hit him 499 times. Have to come back later for that, I suppose.
Yeah. This is secretly a 100% no MSS race. You've all been tricked.
Is that a category in SD?
No.
Oh, HD has a board for that. No.
I actually don't know if it's faster to jump attack Orca and get the instant parry, or to parry him 3 frames, or to like wait the parry 3 frames later. I feel like the parry 3 frames later is probably faster. And our runners are going to be collecting a red rupee inside the log in Forest of Fairies. Whenever Link's sword hits like something that he can pick up, it doesn't matter if it's through a wall or not, like you'll still pick it up. Because the intended way of getting that red rupee is to crawl through the log. And our runners will also be spin attacking the grass in hopes of getting more rupees, because the runners do want to be able to buy the sail later. I'm also kind of just guessing where they are right now, because I cannot see the gameplay at all, but I assume they're somewhere around there.
It's not buffering at all for me. I think it's just on your end.
Yeah.
Ooh, are there any invisible pirates in this category?
Unfortunately, no. The invisible pirates are only seen if you do the manual super swim to skip outset.
Dang. And no
The reason
invisible
for
pirate
that-
ship either.
Well, the invisible pirate ship is actually the invisible pirate ship is just there at the beginning of the game, actually.
Ah.
And then specifically the cutscene where you aim the telescope at the Helmarok King is the cutscene that makes the pirate ship appear, and is also the cutscene that makes the pirate Gonzo appear, who is invisible in other categories. So if you haven't watched that cutscene, that's why Gonzo is invisible.
Okay. I'm writing all this down so that in round 2 I can repeat all of it.
Exactly.
Pretend that I knew it all along.
Seasoned Wind Waker speedrunner Bewildebeest.
Jim, do you happen to know off the top of your head how much of this run is cutscene?
No.
I'd be curious. Maybe I'll go through in time sometime.
I imagine it's probably like more than 25% though, as like a lowball estimate.
I was thinking including intro. I mean, it is part of the run.
Well, unfortunately, it seems like the commentary page does not want to work, so I'll just be watching on the actual stream delay.
Looks like the actual stream is delayed by about 5 seconds for me, so not too far off.
Oh. Loa losing slightly more time, having to jump slash over the trees twice.
I guess it would be pretty big for this category if this game got something like Wind Waker HD's pause storage.
Yeah, pause storage would save a lot of time in this category. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're really going to get anything like that. But
I figure people looked into it back when pause storage was found. I would assume. But it is very much a Wii U mechanic. It looks like Minnie is leaving Outset, or Minnie and Aloha both are leaving Outset just before the 16-minute mark. They are indeed within 5 seconds of each other.
Yeah, so typically runners are looking for outset times that are just below 16 minutes. I believe the best outset time anyone ever got was at 15:42. But with this category, none of our runners really get close to that because they take some extra time to get rupees. I believe that time was without collecting any rupees.
Let's see, there are 2 other guaranteed reds in Forsaken Fortress. Is the rest pot RNG on Windfall?
From this point on, yeah, it's the 2 reds in Forsaken Fortress and then the pots on Windfall. Thankfully, there are 3 guaranteed blue rupees in the Windfall pots on the way to get the sale. So that's at least another 15 plus the 40 in Forsaken Fortress, which is another 55. And then runners usually also go for some RNG rupees in the flowers on Windfall. And usually that gives you like bare minimum, like at least 2 rupees. If you get really unlucky, it might give you as low as 0, but you usually get at least something from that. And then if all if all fails, there is an RNG drop, or an RNG rupee drop near where you buy the sale, which can drop anywhere between 1 to 20 rupees in the appropriate denominations.
And I guess it's pretty unlikely that you'll have to go into Sploosh Kaboom and get the yellows.
Well, actually, our runners do not want to do that.
Aha! Why's that?
Because... So the overworld of the game is actually in a special state when you beat Forsaken Fortress for the first time. And in that overworld state, the pirate ship is still at outset. But the state will, like, properly fix itself on a reload, but runners want to use that state after they beat Forsaken Fortress to get the bombs without having to go to Greatfish.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell.
So, Sploosh Kaboom rupees would be very bad to get.
I hope not to see them today, then.
Yeah, I mean, if, like, even in the absolute worst case scenarios, there's enough pots around Windfall that our runners could get all the rupees that they need. An 1858 spoils bag for Mini. Generally, runners are looking for being able to get the spoils bag in less than 19 minutes. Runners will never use the spoils bag this run, but kind of just have to get it for story progression purposes. Mini and Aloha also have to be careful with their movement here, because they want to be able to get through this cutscene as fast as possible, since they're hoping to hit a specific cycle with the lights when they get to Forsaken Fortress, and the lights in the background, you know, still continuously moving all throughout this cutscene, so they're making sure that they get through the text very quickly, and then hopefully they'll be able to get that good light cycle so they can snag the red rupees in the courtyard as fast as possible. Missing that cycle wastes like 8 seconds, I think. So not like a huge deal, but you know, it's nice to get.
Yeah. Especially for a beginning as optimized as that. You're not losing more than a few seconds for the first 20 minutes. You don't want to lose 8 right after. I remember seeing in Cryptex TAS, or LOTAD, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, that there was a special way of killing one of the goblins here, where you just kind of bonk into a wall.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see that today?
No, that's unfortunately as great as that strategy is, it's not like a RTA viable strategy.
Dang.
The strategy basically hinders on the fact that when the bokoblin notices you, he tries to like jump over towards you. But if he happens to jump over towards you in a specific way, he'll just like fall off the ledge that you're near and die.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It is too bad that that's not RTA viable. It's reminiscent of the City in the Sky Dynalphos strat with the claw shot.
Yeah.
Very humorous to see, but that's too bad. I guess it would cost a lot of time to fail that too.
Alright, so now runners get the Gossip Stone. It is technically possible to just side hop over this trigger, but this trigger is important because this changes the state of the inside of the pirate ship so that it has the bombs the next time we go in. Let me see here. Mini is going for the fast light cycle. It looks like he'll probably get it. Yep, gets the 2 red rupees. And now he has to make sure he gets up the stairs fast enough so that the lights coming back don't get him.
Looks like Aloha made the cycle as well.
Now the runners are both going to do window jump. Basically just jump into the window, just like the trick says. As they can get over to the ladder to climb up to this bokoblin. And now they have to kill this Bokoblin specifically, because this Bokoblin is operating the lights which are checking the sidle spots, which they have to sidle over to get to the end of Forsaken Fortress. And it's not really possible to avoid those lights, because you move way too slowly on the sidle sections. See if Mini goes for the door sidle here. On this next door, if you sidle into it, you'll activate the loading zone behind it, and that skips the opening the door animation.
Oh, I thought he missed it for a second there, but he had already gotten it. I guess that's an auto walk at the end.
Yeah. And then the runners are going to pick up and put down the barrel in this room. Because obviously when you put the barrel on, like the moblins have to be a lot closer to you to actually notice that you're there and like potentially be alerted to you. But that effect actually continues even when you take off the barrel for a few seconds. So the runners are using that to their advantage to just roll past the moblins here. And same thing's going to apply for this last one. But the runners specifically have to wait for the moblin to begin moving before they place down the barrel for this last one. Because if they place it down and then the moblin starts moving again, that kind of resets the range of vision that the moblin has on them, and then they'll get noticed when they roll over.
How close was Mini to being caught when the, I guess, caught sound effect played indoors?
Probably about like a second away.
Wow.
Yeah. It's usually not too bad to like avoid getting completely caught by that one moblin in like the inside room. As long as you make sure you put the railing between the moblin and yourself.
Hmm. Also looked like Mini and Aloa were both doing the tapping sidle movement, I guess. How much time does that save?
I think like 2 seconds across the entire sidle gap.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So Mini lost some time because he didn't quite finish the combo.
Ooh. Got a backflip though.
Did he get the backflip? Yep.
Yeah. I hadn't seen that one before. That's cool. They're just tapping their control sticks. So, you know, tapping left and then returning to neutral very quickly.
Yeah, Link, or what's actually happening is, like, you know, if you just hold straight left, Link goes through, like a sidling animation, and each frame of that animation has a different speed that it, like, applies to Link. So, if you like, repeatedly tap the direction you want to go, Link sort of stays in each one of those, like, animation frames for a little bit longer than he otherwise would, including the frames where he has more speed. So that's how you sort of get more speed while sidling to go across.
If he stays on all the frames longer, wouldn't you stay the same speed on average as just normal sidling?
You would think, but he, like the frames like where he doesn't have very much speed, you sort of still go through at the same speed.
Oh,
it's kind of weird.
That's convenient.
Yeah. Ideally, though, you would want to just hold straight left through those frames to go even faster. So it would be like really rapid tapping and then hold, and then really rapid tapping and then hold, like how a task would do.
That'd be some serious muscle memory.
Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, the overworld, or actually once this cutscene is over, the overworld will be in a specific state which still has the pirate ship at outset. Which is very convenient because once the runners get the sail and sail over to Dragon Roost, the next thing they'll want to do is get the bombs as quick as they can. And the bombs can be found in the pirate ship. And there's two ways that they can do that, right? There's the normal way where they go to Great Fish Island, start Endless Night, and then go back to Windfall Island where the pirate ship will be. Or they could skip going to Great Fish at all and just go to the pirate ship that's on Outset Island, which is not password protected. But again, if they reload the ocean at all, right? If they go into a loading zone and come back out, or if they void out, or if they drown, then the ocean will reload and the pirate ship will not be at Outset anymore.
These first couple of super swims are very important then.
Yes. And it's definitely a bit tricky to do because what the runners will be doing is they'll start at Windfall, right? And then they'll sail over to Dragon Roost Island. And then what they're going to do is they're going to super swim after they get the Wind Waker to Crescent Moon Island, which is one quadrant left and one quadrant up from Dragon Roost. And they're going to store a chest there to alter Link's hitbox, and then they want to super swim all the way down to Outset Island, which is in the southern part of the ocean. But because they've loaded so many islands at that point, if they're not careful, and if they, super swim through the wrong quadrants, the game could potentially trigger a reload when they get to Outset Island, which obviously would not be good.
Yeah, what would the backup be?
The backup is then you have to go to Great Fish and make the pirate ship appear normally, so it is a pretty big time waste. Looks like Minnie had some money troubles, so Aloha has now snagged the lead.
Ah.
Now this is the one section of sailing that's in the entire run.
Goodness, we got the sail.
Yeah, so what Minnie is doing is slightly more optimal than what Aloha is currently doing, if he times the sail pump jumps correctly. Whereas Aloha is just going for straight sail pumping. I'm not sure what the exact time difference is. I know it's pretty minimal, but I know that in TASs you always want to do the jump pumping. So it seems that Aloha is about 8 seconds ahead of Minnie right now. That's probably going to change. Yeah, it's probably going to change pretty soon because the run is suddenly going to become a lot more volatile and a lot tricky for both of our runners.
Yeah, it's going to look a lot less like a fast casual playthrough after this point. I suppose a fast casual playthrough probably wouldn't have window jump.
Probably not. But compared to window jump, the next things that are coming up are pretty crazy. So both runners are now going to get the Wind Waker, which is basically the magic item that makes the speedrun cool in this game. The Wind Waker allows us to get the storage glitch, which can basically be used to interrupt cutscenes, pretty much any kind of cutscene, which has a variety of useful effects. So what the runners are going to be doing here is they're first going to get storage, specifically using a Wind Waker dive. If they perform a Wind Waker dive and then cancel the Wind Waker 3 frames before they hit the ground, they will have storage, just like Aloha did right there. And then they're going to go talk to the King of Red Lions and then get storage again, because they're going to be using one of these storages to super swim over to Crescent Moon Island. So what specifically they want to do is they want to get storage, pull out the Wind Waker to lock the camera in front of Link's face, and then cancel the text box that they stored here. because what this is going to do is this is going to allow them to have storage while they have the ability to super swim with the camera lock, which is important for being able to get the chest storage that they're going to get here. Also, flashing screen warning, I guess, is probably important.
Oh, yeah, maybe warning is the wrong word.
Yeah. So they thankfully don't have to build up much speed for this super swim, because it's only a 1-quadrant super swim, so just a little less than half the air meter will do. And then they have to be very careful to not touch either of these blue choo-choos that are around the chest, because if they touch either of the blue choo-choos, the blue choo-choo is going to eat the storage that they have set up for the chest right here. But thankfully, it looks like they both managed to avoid it, and now all the lights are out. So the chest that they stored is one of those chests where like Link opens it very dramatically. And the way that the game focuses on that for Link is it kills all of the lighting except for the lighting effect that comes from the chest. But of course, that lighting effect never happened because we stored the opening chest cutscene on the very first frame that it happened. So now the runners each have an altered hitbox where the game is not going through as many collision checks as it normally does. And so this allows Link to climb up walls that he really shouldn't be able to climb up. And also it allows the runners to get air refills here. Unfortunately, it looks like Minnie's having a little bit of trouble getting this air refill.
Oh, there he goes.
Okay, that should be good, yeah. All right.
That looks close.
Yeah, so right now the runners are setting up for, or they're both just super swimming across the entire ocean to get to Outset. They should both be fine and not trigger a reload. Aloha is a bit low on air here, so he has to, okay, he was able to get to the pirate ship in time, and now he's going to maneuver over to stand up on the pirate ship so he can cancel the Wind Waker state, climb up the pirate ship, and just open the door. So that he can
This is a very visible pirate ship.
Yes, the pirate ship is very visible now. Also, I know we said that they were 8 seconds apart earlier, and that's going to change, but I believe they are still 8 seconds apart right now.
Consistency.
Yeah. Anyway, I know that was a lot of information, but there's a lot to explain there. I'll let Beast take the pirate ship game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so there are ropes on this pirate ship, and the runners want to cross the ropes to the other side of the pirate ship without falling down. And yes.
Excellent, thank you.
Wait, I didn't explain double rope storage yet.
Oh, right, my bad.
I think there is a trick to this, right? Aloha might like grab up high and then kind of fall and re-grab and then swing or release again.
Yeah, if you if like during the like going forward of the rope swing animation, if you let go at a certain time, you can immediately re-grab with more speed.
Yeah, I see it.
So it skips having to swing back and forth once. Also, yes, I just checked again. The difference is still 8 seconds.
Very nice. What are these bombs for, anyway?
So the bombs are for barrier skip. So, pretty important.
It does sound important.
They're also used to help us do the zombie hover to get the Deku Leaf without the grappling hook. Although we could still get the Deku Leaf without the bombs, but it would be a little bit slower. The bombs do help speed that up. And also just help with like a bunch of other minor things throughout the rest of the run. Right, so now runners are both Minnie and Aloha are going to be doing another double storage super swim here. They're going to be storing the text from the NPC Kane. And this one's actually a little bit nicer, because they can store Kane's text, and then because they're getting storage with Kane being cold, Kane's text won't actually finish until Kane is back on screen, so they have essentially infinite attempts at getting the double storage here.
Looks like Minnie has pulled ahead, despite falling into the water.
Minnie was able... Oh, Minnie grabbed onto the dock, though.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, sometimes when you're super swimming around a windfall, that can happen. It's like, oh, there's a nice dock here.
It's so strange, because you can't normally grab that high, right?
No, you can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he grabbed the dock at one of like the grabbable spots.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so now runners making their way over to Forest Haven, and they get double storage for this one because they want to store the cutscene that normally happens when you arrive at Forest Haven. Partially because it's faster, and also partially because if you don't store that cutscene with camera lock, you will just soft lock. So, and now Aloha is doing the runners are both doing this ledge clip with camera lock, which is a bit confusing to see, but basically they're trying to do a ledge clip to clip out of bounds here, and then because they're still in water, they're going to charge up a small super swim to make it to the loading zone up here at Forest Haven.
Both runners are intentionally taking some damage. Aloha taking damage from the bombs that he didn't end up using. But they're going to need to die soon. Also, why was Aloha's time of day so much later seeming than Minnie's?
I believe that's probably because Aloha's super swim during the pirate ship segment took longer, and so he was on like the overworld for a longer amount of time, so more time of day passed for him. Compared to me.
I guess it passes kind of quickly because they seem pretty far apart time of day.
Oh well, yeah. So when you get to a certain time of day in the evening, on certain islands, like the time of day will just progress until nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Minnie managed to not hit that point yet, so it's still daytime for him. All right. Now it's time for a Deku Tree cutscene skip. So the runners are going to get storage again, and they're specifically going to store bonking onto the Deku Tree, which is the action that knocks the chews off. This puts the chews into a very weird state where they're just kind of sliding in a direction, and you can't, like, damage them or anything. So the way that we're going to kill the chews is we're going to push them out of bounds, and when an enemy falls far enough out of bounds in the game just considers them dead. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to have enough time to perform the actual cutscene skip here. Because normally this cutscene where like the Deku Leaf appears starts when like you kill all of the chews, right? So what the runners are going to try to do is they're going to try to void out with storage, which will continue running all of the background events that are still going on, like the cutscene starting. And while they're voiding out, they want the cutscene to start. So they're going to time that by trying to get crushed by the Deku Tree's chin at a specific time, relative to when they're pushing this last chew out of bounds, which is why they're moving the camera here to look at the Deku Tree's face. Looks like Aloha managed to push the chew out of bounds first, followed quickly by Minnie, so if their timing is good here, they will get crushed by the Deku Tree's chin on the 7th iteration of his animation cycle after pushing the chew out of bounds. And, okay, looks like Aloha is good, and looks like Minnie is good also.
Nice.
So very good to both runners. So that skips the roughly 2-minute long cutscene of the introduction of the Koroks and the Deku Leaf appearing. So now the Deku Leaf is present up all the way at the top of the Deku Tree, and the runners are going to do a trick called a zombie hover to get all the way up there. It's like Aloha screwed up the setup a little bit, so he has to restart it again. So what the runners are doing here is they're killing Link, but when Link is dead and he has a get-up animation, you have some time where you can input a jump slash still. So you input a jump slash as Link is getting up, but the game is like, oh wait, Link is dead, he shouldn't be doing this. And so it tries to cancel the jump slash, but this just gives you the ability to do another jump slash. So the runners are just doing repetitive jump slashing right now in order to gain all of this height. And they specifically need to be at this angle so that they can grind up against the Deku Tree's trunk to not go too far forward and just miss the Deku Leaf entirely. So
what kind of mashing speed is required for this?
This one requires pretty good mashing. Runners are probably doing like 14 to 15 mashes per second each,
wow.
Roughly. Specifically the first part where you want to make sure you get to the trunk without like... Because if you're not high enough when you get to the trunk, you will unfortunately not be able to like grind up against it to get up to the Deku Leaf.
Also, that was interesting. I noticed because Aloha started the hover a few seconds after Minnie did, but made it to the leaf faster. Was that just faster mashing?
I believe that was also Aloha started slightly farther left. Because the hover will take less time if you start, like the further left you start, the less time the hover will take, but it also necessitates, like, better mashing, basically. So it's kind of like a time confidence trade-off kind of thing. If you're extremely confident, you can line up farther to the left. But if you're like not feeling you're mashing today or whatever, probably want to be a bit more to the right. And both runners are now super swimming at the exact same time.
Yeah, nearly frame sync jumping in the water.
The runners now are going to super swim one quadrant to the southeast so that they can do another chest storage super swim. This time they're going to get the raft chest that's here nearby the submarine. And they're going to be using this chest storage to clip into one of the ferry islands early so that they can get a quiver upgrade.
And a lot less perilous because no choose.
Yes. This is one of the easier super swim segments. So they just need to super swim three quadrants to the north. This is a bit of a tight super swim air-wise. So we might see them like brush up against the back of Bird's Peak Rock up here. They're not confident with the air, but it looks like Mini is just going for it. He will probably be okay. Yep. And then Aloha is also just going for it. Will probably be okay as well. Yep. All right, so both runners made it, and then they can kind of just inch their way into the ferry island due to its collision. And, yep. Now they each get the quiver upgrade. So
upgrade, but they haven't gotten a bow yet.
Yeah, so the question is like, well, a quiver upgrade, where's the bow? So the runners will be getting the bow later, but they're going to specifically get the bow in Ganon's tower, which has like the light arrows and everything. And getting that bow does not give you a quiver. So if they didn't get a quiver but got that bow, they would still have a maximum arrow capacity of 0 arrows, which means they wouldn't be able to shoot any arrows, which wouldn't be great. So that's why we get this quiver. They're also escaping the vines here, killing this blue chew so that it doesn't get in the way, and they're going to be doing a really dumb storage off of this peg right here. Mini got it first try, though, which was really good. Aloha got it within 3 attempts. That's also very good.
I heard one runner one time got that straight out of a super swim.
Yes, I did do that one time. Completely on accident. That was fun. Anyway, the runners are going to be heading over to the private oasis now, because due to all this super swimming, Link needs a vacation, so what better place to go than the private oasis?
Nice.
They're going to be getting storage again. They're going to be doing another chest storage super swim, this time using the text from Old Man Ho-Ho over here.
Is that really his name?
Yes. Well, that's what we call him, yeah.
Yeah.
And using the leaf to jump over to the chest here. So the runners are going to be opening up the chest on the same frame that they cancel the text. This is going to store the chest, and then the canceling of the text is going to give them storage again, which they can then use to start camera lock and then start the super swim. Of course, this one is blind, so the runners really have to know where they are if they want this one to work. Also, I believe Aloakirby somehow activated Light Glitch. Light Glitch is this very weird phenomenon where certain things will look very strange later on, which I guess we'll get to later. But I think one of those effects is that Link's shadow is way too dark during certain points, so I think we might end up seeing some of those effects later. Alright, so now the runners are super swimming to Forsaken Fortress, where they're going to use this chest storage to basically just climb up the entire fortress and not have to worry about doing anything else here. If the lights are still here, we'll see a very interesting effect. Ooh, Aloakirby accidentally hit Spectacle Island. That's not good. So now he has to recharge up his speed. He won't drown at least, but he will lose time because of that.
That'll definitely put a big difference between the runners.
Alright, so if Aloha did accidentally activate Light Glitch, the lights at Forsaken Fortress will basically be overlaid in front of everything. Oh, and he's okay, and he hit Mother and Child Isles accidentally also.
It almost looked like that was on purpose because he was kind of climbing it. I thought maybe he'd swim in the air or something.
No, yeah, I think that was like accidental. Okay, here he goes. Just making it over. Okay, yeah, so we can see that the light sources
Whoa.
of everything are just kind of overlaid on top of like everything else. So this is what happens when you accidentally get light glitch, or is one of the effects.
Oh man. Doesn't that only go away with a console reset or something?
Yeah, that stays until the console reset happens.
Do we have one of those coming up?
Nope. So this will be the effect for the rest of Aloa's run.
Oh, amazing. Oh, that's great. I feel bad for Aloha having to play with that. But...
Well, the only place where it gets kind of like disorienting is Forsaken Fortress. Pretty much everywhere else is going to be fine.
Hmm.
But yeah, this doesn't like affect the speed of the run at all. It's a purely visual glitch.
You said something about him accidentally initiating the glitch. Is there something you do to make it happen? Or is it
I
just
don't know
random?
if it's not really random. Like there are, I don't know what caused it here. I've never seen it happen in this specific route, but there have been like routes for like the any percent speedrun a long time ago where like there would be times where like sailing into a certain quadrant would just activate it for some reason. I don't know what internally like happens to like cause it, but something gets messed up.
So you're saying the game gets confused?
In a sense, yes.
Wait a minute. Runners are entering the Helmarok King fight, but they don't have the Skull Hammer. What are they going to do?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe they didn't think this route through.
Yeah, this will be the end of the race, I suppose. Oh yeah, does Aloha go for the super swim at the bottom?
Yeah, I believe Aloha does go for the super swim at the bottom here. Minnie will be climbing up the casual way. But yeah, so as Beast mentioned, the runners don't have the Skull Hammer, so they can't actually fight the Helmarok King at all. But thankfully, the Helmarok King is one of those bosses that we can skip because the loading zone to the next area is always active, since when you beat the Helmarok King, there isn't like a portal that appears that takes you out. You just get access to the door to the next area. So the specific way that we're going to be skipping the Helmarok King today is we're going to be using the leaf to fly around the Helmarok King, so we can just ignore him completely. And then the runners are going to be damaging down to critical health, which is 1.5 hearts. Or no, I guess Minnie's not damaging down. No, okay, Minnie's not damaging down. He's just going for the roll clip.
That was really fast.
Yeah, that was really fast. So normally runners damage down there because that clip that Minnie did with the roll clip right there is actually free if you have critical health, because Link's hitbox is slightly different at critical health. So, yeah, so I'm a little surprised they didn't go for that, just to be safe, but...
It was a gold for him. It's only 5 seconds behind his PB.
Yeah, so it looks like Aloha missed the storage, unfortunately, for the super swim here, so he'll also be rolling around the regular way.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's tough to look at this and say it's the regular way, though.
That's true.
I do really like... Oh, good catch. I do really like how this looks on HD with an item slide all the way up. Go. Whee! Oh my... How can he do that? He can't. Yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah.
Totally understandable mistake, given how this looks.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, he would have lost a lot of magic going back around. Or trying to save that, so it makes sense to save and quit there.
Wow, and it's still...
Yep.
Yep. Looks like he failed the storage again. And This race, or at least this part, is not going Aloa's way.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because in the older routes, like if we accidentally activated Light Glitch, it was after Forsaken Fortress, so I've never had to try to do Helmarock skip or specifically fly around the Helmarock King with Light Glitch activated like this.
I don't know what people look for, but it looked pretty obscured. Everything behind Helmarock was hard to see. Yeah. Aloa opting to quit without saving because he had already save warped. That's rough. Oh, on Mini's side, it looks like Ganon is about to get burnt to a crisp, so this should be the end of the run, right?
Yep.
Oh, GG, Mini.
And 53-17.
That's pretty good. Like a 20-minute world record.
Oh, looks like there's still gameplay. Well.
Oh. I don't remember the post game in this.
Okay,
Oh,
Aloa's gonna... Yeah, so Aloa's gonna go for the Helmarock skip that's done in the All Dungeons category now instead. Where he's doing this manipulation here, which is forcing the Helmarock King to get farther and farther away from the arena right now. And then he's gonna basically climb up behind the Helmarock King afterwards. Because the Helmarock King will take extremely long to get back down here. So this skips having to do the leaf around portion that Aloa was failing earlier.
I know that running back and forth kind of crosses some kind of threshold that triggers the Helmarock King, but what does holding the pot do?
That prevents Link from skidding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah, Aloa damage down. We get a really dark shadow for Link, the camera right here. That's how I knew that we activated it earlier, because he had that dark shadow on the private oasis.
Mm. I'm curious to see what the rest of the game looks like with Light Glitch.
Most of
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, once we get out of Forsaken Fortress, most of it isn't that different, but the Trials room in Ganon's Tower will look pretty trippy.
Mm.
And also the final staircase will look a little trippy with all the torches. So one of the effects of this cutscene that both of the runners watched here is that they now each have the Master Sword, which is important because they're going to want to actually defeat Phantom Ganon in Ganon's Tower later, which they would not be able to do without the Master Sword. And Mini is now on the other side of Hyrule, and he's going to be doing Barrier Skip. So this is one of the reasons that we got the bombs, is that Mini's going to be doing a push clip through the barrier to be able to skip it. So he's doing a setup right now that gets him into a very precise position, and then he's going to be lining up to a very specific angle. And when he's in that specific position with that specific angle, he's going to pull out a bomb, wait a certain amount of frames, and then he's going to drop the bomb behind him by pressing the B button. And that is going to displace Link forward by a little bit more than 50 units, which is enough to clear the threshold for the collision checking to get through the barrier, because there's a very small gap in the barrier between those two collision polygons right there. So it was pretty clean for Mini.
I feel like I usually see more pauses on the bomb part.
Well, yeah, so we usually we pull out the bomb and then also turn around the camera at the same time, so we can tell what the correct frame is based on like what we see in the camera.
Mm.
But I think Mini just got like the correct frame like on his first pause, which is pretty good. And this is why we need the leaf to fly over the gaps here.
Oh, I was curious. It looked like Mini was waiting until Tetra came to start his setup. Is Tetra important for that?
I don't think so. I don't actually do that setup that Mini does. I do a different one. I know the one I do doesn't require Tetra at all.
It didn't look like he interacted with her at all. Maybe he was just kind of mentally preparing.
Yeah. All right, so I want you guys to remember what the trials room looks right now on Mini's screen.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same when Aloha gets there in a few minutes. So right now Mini is stocking up on magic to do trial skip. Mini's basically just...
No!
Oh.
Oh, there's a great clip of Mini doing trial skip. I don't remember what kind of run it was, Hundo or All Dungeons or something, but the sword landed just like that, so he had to get up and throw it away, and he threw it in such a way that it bonked right back to him. So he started doing it again, and it just came right back. It was so funny. My favorite clips.
Oh, okay, Tetra being in a potentially bad spot makes sense.
I see. It does look as though Mini's pretty far ahead. Although it would have a few minutes to, would have to catch up by a few minutes. But there are still some pretty hard things towards the end, yeah?
There are, yeah. Although if Mini plays well, even if he gets like the worst RNG possible, he'll still be ahead of Aloha. So at this point, Mini will have to mess something up if Aloha wants to catch up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like Mini is actually on PB pace now. He's on
Oh, yeah.
Pace.
Of course, Mini waits until now to pull out a new world record.
Yeah. What better time? Make the race exciting. And he pulled out the bomb to skip the little animation of turning back towards the door.
Unfortunately, did not get, or he got the worst Phantom Ganon RNG here. The best RNG is where he spawns in a circle of clones around you, and then you can just instantly hit the correct one, which always spawns directly behind you. Alright, now Aloha going...
Same barrier skip setup.
Yeah, I believe Aloha does the same setup. This first part with the Wind Waker pulling out, basically the runners are trying to do a damage cancel trick on the knockback portion of the barrier so that they can stay inside of it, but it requires starting a cutscene on the same on the frame that the damage canceling ends. So that's why they're just constantly pulling it out, and sometimes they miss it because it is a frame perfect trick.
Oh, miss a shot. It looks like Aloha is doing a different...
Oh yeah, Aloha's doing a different one. This is the one that requires either 7 or 9 side hops. I forget the exact number. 9 side hops, okay.
Are the 9 side hops frame precise? It looks like he's starting over.
Yes, I believe they do have to happen very precisely.
Hmm.
And he gets the double shot. Oop, accidentally takes quarter heart there. So he'll have
intentional
to...
damage, or?
No, that was unintentional. You always want to go into the Puppet Ganon fight with at least 2 1/4 hearts.
Oh.
Otherwise, the Keese will not drop any magic, and they will only drop hearts.
Okay, well, I got some hearts from...
Yeah.
From the Dark Knight. Cutscene time.
Cutscene time.
Well, actually, I was about to say that was a pretty long stretch without a cutscene, but it was actually just because the two runners are far enough apart that when one was in a cutscene, I could watch the other. Aloha, so what happens if Aloha runs out of bombs? I know there are bomb drops over on the other side of Hyrule.
Yeah, he'll have to go over and get the other ones, or get the other bomb drops if that's the case. It looks like he got the side hubs.
Yeah. Drops in the main room, too.
There's also a few drops in the main room.
Actor, that's true. Is that allowed in this category?
No, actor unloading. So the category is any percent no MSS, but the category actually additionally bans both actor unloading and puppet Ganon skip to make the category more beginner friendly.
Apparently, it's bannered in this category. Oh, is saving. Oh, maybe for bomb count?
Yeah, probably.
It's Bernard in this category.
There he goes. All right.
Oh, very nice, Loa. And is Minnie going for the cool trick shots I see people go for on Puppet Ganon? Is that something everybody does?
At least for the first phase, yeah. Misses the first shot, though, unfortunately. It is tricky, though, because obviously the tail is moving back and forth, and also Puppet Ganon himself is just, like, kind of moving around the room somewhat randomly.
Wow.
So...
Honestly, having never done this fight in a speedrun before, it always amazes me that people can do it so well. How is that possible?
Well, I mean, there's certain patterns
yeah.
like you can look for, yeah. Also, I'd like to draw attention to Aloa's screen right now when we go into the trials room.
Ooh, yeah.
With light glitch.
Is that... Yeah. Okay.
The lava's cooking. Alright, so Minnie is going to go for the crypt shot here, is able to get it, very nice.
Oh, he did get it?
Yeah, so you got two consecutive hits on Puppet Ganon's tail at the beginning of the phase here. Unfortunately, he did not get a magic drop from the keys, though, so that's some bad RNG. Now he has to wait a cycle. Hopefully they'll drop magic this time. Okay, yeah, he at least got one drop. That's good enough for the rest of the fight. And then that damage there is intentional.
Okay.
Because the runners will be doing another zombie hover. Light glitch, I also guess, helps with this puzzle here. You can see exactly how many torches are on each chandelier.
It was a pretty hard puzzle before. Actually, it looked like one of the candles wasn't light glitched.
Yeah.
Makes it harder.
Oh, okay. There was a very brief moment on Minnie's screen there where Puppet Ganon actually went out of bounds.
Oh.
Oh, no, he's going out of bounds again. Alright. Wow.
Ganon thinks there are not enough glitches in this run.
Yeah.
Minnie unfortunately lost some time to RNG there. And I guess some shots on that first cycle.
Yeah, so Minnie was taking damage because he's going to be doing the last zombie hover of the run shortly here. Actually, well, he might end up doing two, but if he gets good RNG, he'll only have to do one.
When you're climbing the rope like this, is there a risk of falling all the way down?
There is a risk of falling all the way down, but only if you mash too fast.
Oh.
I mean, he's going to be doing a grapple skip, where he's going to try to position himself precisely and do a backflip to just clip up top, so not have to use the grappling hook. Very convenient that trick works.
Oh,
and he got good RNG. Very nice. Going to take one more quarter heart damage by doing a jump slash down to the bottom.
Falling from there takes 1/4 heart.
Yep.
That's amazing.
All right,
It's got to be
now...
like the highest, or the largest drop you can possibly take, right?
Yeah. Oh, and he gets good Morth RNG. Oh, but unfortunately he didn't... The leaf blow got caught by the pot. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, he got another good morph drop. Morph drop. TH, not PH. Right, so now Mini is blowing the morph over. The trick that he did earlier where he stabbed the sword and then... Or where he stabbed the morph with his sword and then... like had it grab onto him at the same time, sets a flag in the morph that says it was killed by your sword, even if ultimately it's going to get killed by like the bow here in just a minute. But having that sword flag set, it guarantees that the morph will drop a heart. If we do not set that flag, then the morph will not drop anything. Oof. Okay.
Yeah, that was a good
All right.
catch.
Yeah. And then Minnie will be hovering up to the heart that just dropped down so that he can get to the Ganon fight.
Here goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got some not-so-great RNG with the Morth specifically. It took a lot of leaf blows to get the Morth up to the platform. But he is only 6 seconds behind the current record, so...
Yeah. Well, 6.1. Let's not
Take
get carried away.
Yeah.
You would have to gold by 3 seconds-ish to get the world record. Or beat his world record, rather.
Yeah.
But dying to Ganon would that put him behind Alola? It'd be pretty...
No, because you don't have to, like, watch the cutscene when you come back.
Right.
Yeah. If you had to watch the cutscene again, oof, man, that would be bad. Wind Waker being like, I heard you guys like cutscenes. We're just gonna never let you skip this one. Because if Alola has a good Puppet Ganon, he should be able to beat Puppet Ganon entirely before Mini starts the Ganon fight here. So we'll see how Alola does.
Ooh, gets a nice first shot.
Yep.
Oh, that one looked like a scam.
Yeah, there's a slight period that first phase Puppet Ganon has of invulnerability after you get a shot onto the tail. So I think Alola shot the arrow slightly too early and kind of got scammed.
Oh,
He's waiting for... Oh, yeah.
now magic now, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough magic left. So, he's gotta wait for the keys to come down. Thankfully, there's enough keys that at least one of them should drop magic. If the arrows can hit them, that is. Yep, 2 magic drops.
I guess having 60 arrows here is pretty nice.
Yeah, having 60 arrows is very nice here.
Oh, Ganon's chortling. The Red Lions must have told him a funny joke.
The joke is secretly a distraction, though, so that Link can get back up.
Oh, did Alola just go for a third quick shot?
Yeah, because he entered the second phase with almost full magic, he had the ability to go for just the 3 quick ones to potentially end the phase almost immediately.
Oh.
Yeah, he unfortunately just still was on the regular arrows there. Hadn't switched back over.
Oh no, is he trapped? Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow,
if you time it correctly, you can still hit the tail when he's like getting back up.
Uh-huh. What? That one I didn't understand.
So he wants to have at least, he wants to have enough magic to finish off the third phase going into it. If he were to kill Papa Ganon there, then he wouldn't have had enough magic.
Oh, I got the shot.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Minnie's in the...
And yeah, now Minnie's in the Ganondorf fight. Unfortunately, it's one bad slash from Ganondorf, so it's probably not going to world record. But it's going to be close. Actually... If Zelda shoots fast... A tie!
World record by 0.6 seconds. GG, Minnie.
GG, Minnie.
That's amazing.
And just as Alola beats Puppet Ganon. Oh, yeah, I didn't see him get the one cycle on first phase. We were still talking about magic.
Yeah.
With Alola.
That's a very nice race time. Getting the world record. That counts as a pretty good race.
Yeah, so Minnie did actually get a 1:13.35, but he didn't finish on race time until about 2 seconds later.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But he did actually beat his PB by about half a second. So
hopefully we won't see any light glitch in the second round. That was really unfortunate on Aloa's side.
Yeah, I can imagine that probably messed up with Aloa's flow.
Yeah.
But I believe we'll just be continuing on to the second race. I don't have the race time room open.
Yeah, I guess it depends on whether the runners want to take a break or something. I think it was scheduled for 3:30, right?
I think so. Okay, the next race room is already made. And I assume interviews will happen after game 2.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we are interviewing the runners. Me and Beast are the runners, clearly.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Beast. You got first place.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought I did really well, and I thought you did really well too, just not as well.
Yes, thank you.
Better luck next time.
It was the intro, wasn't it?
Yeah. I had faster loads in the intro. Thanks, Coco. Yeah, I haven't fought Helmarock today. I think that's a pretty good skip.
But yeah, so Mini is currently 1 up in the best of 3 set here, so if Alola doesn't want to get knocked down to loser's bracket, he's going to have to win 2 races in a row. Or 1 today and 1 tomorrow.
And from what people were saying earlier, and obviously Mini is a world record contender. Alola is as well, obviously an extremely talented player. It's possible we could see another world record in today's races.
Yep.
On either side.
So hopefully... Hopefully Alola will hard reset the console to get rid of light glitch.
Oh yeah. Did he already do that or no?
I didn't see, but I'll remind him when he joins the race room.
Alright, hello everybody. We're getting the next race set up right now, so we're going to go ahead and swap over to the countdown screen. Give us a few minutes. Still trying to figure out if the runners want to take a short break, but we will be back shortly with the next race, and we'll see you all soon.
Hey, Ricky.